Are you moving to Toronto but need to rely on buses, subways, and bikes to get around the city? And you're not necessarily sure which neighborhood would be best for you? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top 5 worst neighborhoods that you want to avoid if you use public transportation. And if you guys stay until the very end of the video, I'm also going to share with you guys some of the best areas in Toronto when it comes to public transportation. So for today's list, we're going to actually base it on a few things. Number 1 is the walk score. Number 2 is going to be the transit score. And lastly, the bike score. All right, so let's get straight into today's list. Spot number 5 for worst areas is going to be Cliffside. The walk score is going to be 69. Transit score is 52 and the bike score is 49. So Cliffside itself is a picture perfect neighborhood in the east side of Toronto. It is an absolutely beautiful place, known for its stunning views of the lake and of course the beautiful community. This area in particular is a lovely place to live. However, if you're relying on public transportation, it is not going to be a great area for you. Cliffside has a very low transit score. This means that public transportation options are going to be very limited in this area of Toronto. So while there are a few bus routes and options, they do not connect seamlessly to main subway lines. This can make commuting, especially to downtown Toronto, quite challenging. Especially during those rush hours and really busy times, it's going to be really hard to get around. Many residents here find themselves relying on using their cars just to do their basic errands. If you miss the bus, you're probably going to be waiting a while until the next one comes. And with limited service, this can really feel like a gamble. All right, so number 4 is the West Deanan Park. Walk score is 19. Transit score is 52. Bike score is 48. So this serene neighborhood is actually in the west end of Toronto. And while it boasts beautiful green spaces and is very family oriented, it is not going to be one of the best choices when it comes to public transportation. The public transportation options here are very limited. This area is primarily serviced by just a few bus routes, which means that getting to the subway or any major transit hubs is going to be way more difficult. It's going to be very inconvenient and time consuming. Many residents here find that they need to rely on a car just to get around. And this is especially true if they work in downtown Toronto. Plus, during peak hours, there is going to be way more congestion, so it's going to take a lot more time. And if you miss your bus, you're probably going to be waiting for a long time until the next one. This can be extremely frustrating, which is what frustrates a lot of people in this neighborhood. Number 3 is going to be the Bridal Path. Walk score here is 34. The transit score is 50. The bike score is going to be 38. The Bridal Path is one of Toronto's most prestige neighborhoods. This is located in North Toronto. It is known for its huge private estates and very private housing. This truly is a dream location if you can afford it. However, it is definitely not ideal for anyone who relies on public transportation. But like I mentioned, this is a super expensive area, so most of these people probably don't need public transportation. You see, the residents here pretty much all rely on cars to get around, because in this area, it's going to be nearly impossible when it comes to public transportation, as there is very limited options in this area. Number 2 is the Portlands. Walk score is 6. Transit score is 49. And the bike score is 52. So the Portlands area right now is actually under some major construction. There is so much transformation and development happening in this area. And what's going to be opening there now is what we're calling the new Toronto Islands. This waterfront neighborhood is set to become a very vibrant hub. But as of right now, it currently faces some major challenges when it comes to commuting. The Portlands right now has a very low transit score, with very limited public transportation options coming to this part of the neighborhood. And while there is plans for future transit development in this pocket, getting in and out of this area can be quite tricky, especially if you're going to be relying on public transportation. Now, I actually did do a video all around talking about this new development that's happening in this area and how it's going to become the new Toronto Island. Island. So if you want to check that out, just check it out right over here. So even though right now this is not a very ideal place for anyone to really live, especially because it's all being developed, but in the future, in a couple of years from now, this is going to be a really cool new neighborhood in Toronto that will have more transit options. So number one is actually going to be the Toronto Islands. Walk score is 15, transit score is 0. The bike score is 56. So the number one worst spot is probably one that you weren't even thinking that would be on this list. But most people don't actually know this, that there are people who actually do live on the Toronto Islands. This is not just a place for tourists or even for locals who want to have fun there in the summertime. See, this is the thing, the Toronto Islands are only accessible by ferry or water taxis. This means that the public transportation options are extremely limited. The ferry services do run regularly, but it can be quite busy, especially in the summer times. In those really busy times, you're probably going to be waiting a long time for these ferries that fill up really quick because there is so many crowds of people who do go to the Toronto Islands for tourist purposes. See, residences who do live in this island have to actually schedule all around the ferry times. This can be extremely inconvenient. And with the crowds during summertime, it can be very frustrating. You see, if you miss the ferry, you're probably going to be waiting a while until the next one, and this can cause a lot of headaches. So while the Toronto Islands does offer a really unique lifestyle and beautiful views and so much more, there is a lot to say about the public transportation here, so this is not going to be an ideal place for most people. So these are the worst neighborhoods in Toronto when it comes to public transportation if you're relying on subways, buses, or even the bike. But now, like I promised, we're going to be talking about what are some of the best areas in Toronto when it comes to public transportation. And like I mentioned in my last video, that downtown Toronto is going to be the best when it comes to public transportation. Downtown Toronto has many great neighborhoods that have 100% when it comes to the transit score, the walk score, and the bike score. You have an amazing rating all across in these downtown core neighborhoods. Some of the best ones are going to be Yorkville, the Distillery, the Financial District, and the Entertainment District, all of which have absolutely amazing options when it comes to the subway, buses, or even if you need a bike to get around. One thing is for sure, if you're living in these areas, you absolutely do not need a car. In fact, it's probably faster for you to get around not using a car. Sometimes you could even just walk from place to place. And that is the beauty of downtown Toronto, is the fact that you have so many amenities that are literally walking distance. So we hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys want to see more amazing Toronto videos, you can help support this channel. It's super quick and easy, and it's completely free. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and you will be seeing more videos like this. And if you're thinking about moving to Toronto, reach out to us. All of our contact information is down below. Want to explore more amazing neighborhoods and videos about Toronto? Then watch this video next. And until next time, guys, see you around the city, and God bless.